Once celebrated as a partnership of democracies, the relationship between Washington and New Delhi is now at its lowest point in years. Tariffs, tensions, and strategic autonomy are pulling the world's two largest democracies apart. So, what went wrong? The downward spiral began in early 2025, when US President Donald Trump slapped a 25% tariff on Indian imports, later escalating to a massive 50% by August. Washington justified the move by pointing to India's ongoing purchases of Russian oil and military equipment, but the impact was immediate. Global rating agency Fitch reported that the average US tariff rate on Indian goods shot up from just 2.4% in 2024 to 20.7% in 2025. The fallout was swift. Indian stock markets suffered 5 consecutive weeks of losses. Investors fled to safer assets like silver and gold. The rupee weakened sharply. Energy and base metal prices saw wild volatility. This was more than an economic pinch, it shook investor confidence in India's growth trajectory. Not long ago, ties were marked by enthusiastic rallies like Howdy Modi.
I present to you my friend, a friend of India, a great American president, Mr. Donald Trump.
But today, the warm personal rapport between Trump and Modi offers little protection. Indian leaders have pushed back hard. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh warned that actors with reservations about India's progress would be resisted. Prime Minister Modi himself declared that India would pay a very heavy price to safeguard its trade and strategic interests. Meanwhile, critics inside India cast the tariffs as a tribute to India's strategic exceptionalism, proof that Washington is trying to coerce New Delhi rather than treat it as a true partner. The tariffs also spilled into defense cooperation. India paused a multi-billion-dollar US arms acquisition, including Javelin missiles and Stryker vehicles. In retaliation, Washington hinted at withholding the F-35 fighter jet sale. This marks a sharp departure from earlier hopes of deepening defense ties through frameworks like transforming the relationship utilizing strategic technology, trust, and the critical and emerging technology, ICET, which aim to boost cooperation in AI, space, semiconductors, and emerging technologies. With the US relationship faltering, India has turned its attention toward the global south, especially in West Asia and Africa. Supported by initiatives like Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat, New Delhi is pushing its exports more competitively and strengthening supply chain resilience. At the same time, partners like Japan and Australia are deepening ties with India under the Quad framework, even as US-India trade ambitions, like the ambitious Mission 500 target of $500 billion trade by 2030, now look uncertain. What we're witnessing is more than just a trade dispute. The tariff war has exposed vulnerabilities in India's defense supply chain and tested the resilience of a partnership once hailed as natural and enduring. As India pushes back and Washington doubles down, one question remains: is this just a temporary rift, or the beginning of a long-term realignment in global power politics?